Hey, what's up, SojuTalk Nation? It is the SojuTalk Crew, consisting of your boy Doug, Warren, and Anita, that most of you are used to at this point. If you're new, hello though. This is not a regular podcast. This is episode 69.5. What we decided in 3 minutes that we are calling it State of the Nation, which is stealing from the end segment of our regular podcast anyway, but that's what it is being called. Basically, as probably some of you have figured out, we do have discussions about the podcast behind the scenes. Of course we do.
What? Surprised.
But Warren decided that it would be, well, he suggested it. I don't know if he decided.
I didn't decide, please.
He suggested that maybe we should record some of our discussions about the podcast as a whole. And honestly, I thought that was a pretty good idea. So that's what we're doing. But because we are recording, he has given me the opportunity to give one announcement because, you know, I love giving announcements. But here it is. SojuTalk Nation. I come to you with a weird and strange request, unlike any of the ones I have done in the past. As some of you probably know, KCON has released its KCON 2020 Dream Lineup poll. And included in the poll is the chance to nominate influencers. Now, normally this announcement would be made in episode 70, and in fact, it will be probably made again in episode 70. But the reason I am saying it now is because they are closing the poll on Wednesday night at midnight.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And as many of you know, we release our podcast on Wednesday. So it would mean that our listeners, it would be pretty much the only people who would have a chance to fill this out would be the first day listeners for the first 16 hours. So yeah, so I'm going to announce it now. But as many of you know, we the crew, we've had little opportunity to meet the nation face to face. And overall, we really want to change that. And KCON is probably the best opportunity for us to do it in 2020. So overall, we would greatly appreciate it if you could fill out the form and nominate us as influencers to attend KCON in 2020. And on the following page, you can suggest a panel that could take place. And I would really personally like if you could suggest a K-pop podcast panel, because although I'd be happy, we're going to attend KCON either way if we get invited to this or not. Having a K-pop podcast panel would allow us to meet some of our peers in the podcasting world, and I think that would be a really cool experience for us.
I want to meet my sunbeds.
Exactly.
I want to meet the other people in the game. See what's up in the podcasting game.
Also, here's an incentive. If we go to KCON, right?
Yes.
And we meet the other podcasters, you're gonna probably know what all the K-pop podcasters look like. Finally, because I know we're the people who show our face. Well, at least Warren and I do, but very few other of the K-pop podcasters, you know what they look like. And if we have a K-pop podcast panel, you'll probably know what everyone looks like because there'll be videos and pictures on our SNS and stuff. So that's incentive. But the form itself could be found in the description of this video, KCON's website, their SNS sites. So look it up, and it is called the KCON 2020 Dream Lineup Poll. So lastly, I want to thank everyone for the support, and whether you do this or not, completely optional, but overall, thank you.
Thank you. That being said, if we have to, if this means face reveal of other podcasters, we don't even have to look far. We have one in the house. Anita. No, this is what I'm telling you. Come to the convention with a flower mask on and just walk around.
I mean, on the Discord yesterday, we were talking about getting you a rocket ship costume if Rocket Punch comes.
What?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't want to get my hopes up because I don't want to expect it'll happen. But in the case I see Rocket Punch and they see me, I don't want them to think I'm a crazy person.
No, you are wearing
around the rocket costume.
You are wearing a rocket costume with boxing gloves, so you are literally the Rocket Punch, sir.
I think I am perfectly content with showing up with normal clothes and being like, "Hi, how are you doing? My name is Warren. I am a normal person. I promise. I don't cosplay as rockets all the time, you know."
I mean, what if so you know how I'm a positive person in general, right?
You're just trying to mess with me.
I like the dream big because if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, you could just claim the dream was too big. Number one, Rocket Punch is coming. Let's just say that, fam.
Okay. No. I want them to come. I have nothing against them coming. In fact, I would dream of them coming.
Number two, they're gonna let you interview Jury. Like, come on, it's gonna happen, of course. So
every time you say that, like, I know unconsciously I'm gonna expect it like a little more. And like that's gonna mess with me long term. See how much the camera's shaking right now? Like, can you see that?
but regardless of like any of my crazy expectations, I've been talking about my experiences for KCON, and it's gotten Warren pretty hyped overall for KCON this year. Because now that he's in New York, it's like he has to go.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Here's the thing. If we go on our own, if we just pay our own money to go, I'm gonna have to be like, yo, can I like take a vacation for like a day at work? I'm gonna have to be like, can I take a day off to just hang out? But if I have this, then I'll be like,
it's on Saturday and Sunday though.
Oh, is it?
It's on the weekend.
You're good.
You're good. The only thing is like they have a something called Club KCON on Fridays, at least in the New York one, where
I've heard.
It's at night and it's not that expensive and it's not that crowded, and they let like some of the rookie artists come on and perform. So Rocket Punch, if they come, would be at that, and it's at night. So
I'm skipping work to get ready for that to happen.
you have to prepare yourself the entire day.
I have to like meditate so that I don't like explode when I see them. Like
I imagine you like picking out an outfit and then changing it about 15 times, even though you're gonna be like the 10th row of people and they ain't even gonna see you, but you're still gonna try to. Warren's gonna show up in a tuxedo to
That'll get you noticed.
Club
I don't think, not in a positive way, Anita.
No, I'm telling you, the rocket costume there would get you noticed by then. You should be that guy.
No,
come on.
No.
But Anita, now that your AT's concert thing might not be happening,
Remind me.
we could supplement it with KCON.
Table is turned.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Bring your sister along.
Yeah, bring your sister. My sister went with me last year, and she, like, I don't know if she wants to go this year, but we'll see. But talking about KCON, the other thing. No, not talking about KCON. I am pivoting because I want to talk about something else right now.
What?
Okay.
Can we talk about the SojuTalk Discord real quick?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody?
The SojuTalk Discord. A lot of people have been curious about it. Whenever people join, they're like, "I've heard about this, so I finally joined."
You convinced me.
The SojuTalk Discord is honestly at this point a more reliable news source than a lot of the English K-pop news sites that are out there. No, I'll tell you why.
Who's throwing shade out there?
No, it is no. Because we have a channel on there called, what is exactly? I want to get the name 100% right. Spicy News, where people put news articles and stuff, and basically because we are able to take sources from all these different websites, it gets condensed down into like literally the news, what is correct, and we get everything in there. That's what I look at for most of the scripts. That's my starting point always now.
This is also true. I don't really rely on Reddit for news anymore. I kind of like my morning routine, right? Like when I wake up, I don't just get out of bed. I stay in bed for like 30 minutes, just scroll through my phone. One of the first things I do is like go on Discord and like go through that channel and just like make sure I'm caught up and on the news. I'm being serious. Like I don't say much on the server, to be honest, but like as is with Anita, I lurk a lot, and like that's a pretty solid source of news now.
Also, the other thing that's good is like right when something big drops and you're like, well, I feel like this about that topic, and we have a channel called Reaction Zone, and people react to it, and you're like, you know how like with reaction K-pop YouTubers, you're basically looking for validation about how you feel about the video,
right?
It's the same type of deal. Like the news drops, and you all are talking about the news, and you could get other perspectives like instantly. Something drops, and the channels just explode. Something massive drops.
That being said, I'm kind of happy and satisfied that nobody has called each other any profane words on the server yet.
That's
like, pretty civil so
far. It's for the most part pretty civil. There has been a couple places here and there where like I was watching, and I was like, oh shoot, are they gonna fight now? Oh man, this is kind of oh man, Doug, what do we do? And then Doug
Also,
while I'm typing that, Doug messaged me like, yo, like, they're about to fight. I'm like, no, they're not. Just leave them alone. Like,
and we've never had an instant where it actually does fight. It always ends up in a civil discussion.
Yeah, and then people
just have
apologize.
differing
I'm like,
opinions.
oh, thank you. You guys are smart people. I love you guys. That's great.
Also, because this is not edited, when I went and looked at the Discord because I screen capture, Warren's window got a little weird for like 5 minutes, but we back now.
You're back.
You know, I never expected this many people to join the Discord. We're at like 230-ish, maybe 240.
Oh my god.
And out of those, there's like 50 active people, like very active.
This is true.
That's crazy to me. Like, we've been doing the podcast since August 2018, and it surprises me every day how much the nation has grown.
It's been about what, like a year and a half now.
Yeah, about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I said this elsewhere, but I thought we'd be doing this for a couple months,
Yeah.
and then we'd lose interest.
We might have a podcast eventually about like the struggles of starting a podcast and what you need to like know.
Dude,
but
that's super meta.
even though so obviously we're very established now, which is strange to me because I still feel like we're infants in the game. But the main thing we see is like, of course,
sure.
we I wouldn't say we monitor other K-pop podcasts, but we're aware of them. That's a good way to put it. A lot of the new ones, they stop before 10 episodes. That's like the main thing we see fairly consistently. So if you even like, I don't want to devolve this conversation into talking about meta podcasting stuff, but if you want to make a podcast, whether it's about K-pop or about anything else you're interested in, you just gotta keep it up. Like, the views and the downloads are gonna be horrendous. The first like couple for us, it was horrendous. Like 9 months. We had no one listening but like our families. Like, let's be honest.
I remember like the third episode, we were excited over like 30 downloads. Was it?
Bro, I got excited over one day we got 12 downloads. I remember messaging you on the train being like, bro, 12 people downloaded us.
Oh man.
Like, I obviously, because we have the discretion, I don't like to speak in specifics, but here's something I'll tell you all. In the second month of our podcast, right? We had under 40 downloads for Spotify in the entire month.
That sounds about right, yeah.
That's eight episodes for us in the first 2 months. When we reached by like episode 8 or 9, we had only had like 40, 50 downloads. So that's just a perspective for you. Don't give up. Like, just keep going with that. The other thing I want to say, but in terms of our growth now, happy numbers. Y'all want some happy numbers? Because I'm the guy who does the analytics and
The
stuff.
numbers.
I haven't done the numbers in a while. What are they looking at nowadays?
So the most recent numbers, we do it monthly. So we also do it by episode, but the more interesting numbers by month. When we compare December of 2018 to December of 2019, right?
Yes. So a full year, right? Okay.
There is a 9-fold difference.
What does full mean?
Wow. What?
So it increased 9 times.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So the amount of listeners has, I don't know, like, you know how to use the word double, triple, quadruple? I don't know what the one for 9 is, but that's how many times it went up.
Oh.
Okay, so it's triple of triple.
Yes. So we've had 9 times the viewers in a year's time between those months.
Dang.
Wow. So like a 900% growth.
Yes, on paper. Now,
Why
obviously
are you guys
now,
listening to us this much?
obviously now our growth has, like, obviously we can't maintain that rate. That would be ridiculous, because if we maintain that rate in like a year or two, we would be like the top podcast in the world, which is not going to happen.
Joe Rogan.
No, we are not Joe Rogan. Obviously we are still increasing though, which is a great thing to see. Honestly, since we've started the podcast, the only reason why our monthly downloads have decreased is because sometimes there's 5 Wednesdays in a month, sometimes there's 4 Wednesdays in a month. But if you divide our viewers per month by amount of episodes, we've increased every month, which is
Nice.
great. That's something that... So the state of the nation, we healthy, we thick.
What?
I don't know what I'm saying there.
Why is thick and healthy like interchangeable with each other?
Whatever. That's what we are.
we're at a good place. We're at a good place. I am happy with that. I'm happy. I don't know why. It kind of confuses me why people listen to us complain for an hour and 30 minutes every week, but I'm glad that you guys okay.
Okay, well here's the other thing I want to point out. So real podcasting numbers, this is a beta again, of course, but real podcasting numbers, so the majority of our listener is on audio plays on podcasting platforms like iTunes, Spotify, things like that.
Right.
And on those kind of platforms, there's very little analytics as like what kind of download numbers we get, how many were subscribed, that sort of thing.
Right.
I'll just say like our YouTube numbers, because you could see our subscriptions on YouTube, right? That's one analytic, which is very obvious. We're at like 840-ish, I would say right now. We have way more interaction on podcasting platforms, which I think makes complete sense.
That makes a lot more sense, yeah.
Long form, hour-long plus videos on YouTube aren't great in the algorithm, right?
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think anybody would be staring at our faces. Only two of the three of our faces.
Bro,
for like an hour.
If we were just YouTube, because a lot of our subscribers is driven from audio. If we were just YouTube and they saw our faces, our subscribers would be about 3 still.
Bro,
let's be honest here,
bro.
It would be like our 2 accounts and my sister. That would be our subscribers at this point. Let's be straight up about that. I do have something called Diet for KCON going on too. But
oh my god,
we could talk about that at a different time.
We had this discussion a while ago with like
whatever.
with like K-pop and visuals. Dude, you're fine. Chill.
But I don't know.
Said I have 3,000 subs on my personal account.
Oh, stop. You're driven from one video that has over 1 million views. Let's be real here.
I'm about to hit 10 million views. I'm not kidding.
So Warren has this account. So there's a rapper, Black Nut. Warren released a English subs version of one of his songs, and it has like 10 million views.
It's
like
10 million.
And he has like 3 to 4 times the amount of subs as our podcast does, even though he has like a tenth of the amount of videos on the account.
The thing is, that video, like it's about to not only hit 10 million. I forget what I was gonna say. Oh shoot.
10 million views.
It has 10 million views. And I was gonna go off of something, but the funny thing is, even though it's an English sub video, everyone who watches it are Korean people, and then I still get comments, and they're like, "Yo, like it's 2020. Who's still watching? Like my comment if you're still like, bro."
Yeah,
but people are like, I'm probably the only one still listening to this. And then I leave a comment. I'm like, no, I get comments every week. Stop, leave. I should private that video, honestly.
But okay, so now that we talk about growth, we're growing, right? So some of the things that have been coming up specifically on Discord, and once in a while in the fan mail emails we get. I don't like calling them fan mail; they're just emails to us. 2 things people want to talk about these days are merch and potentially a Patreon. But let's talk about merch first. The only merch we've ever made, the only branding we've ever done is the sign behind me, right?
Right.
Derek's light sticks that he gave us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Derek, from K Music Every Day. Check them out on SoundCloud.
Man.
And those stickers that I have like 80% of them still. Now, I don't blame you for not buying stickers, but I'm sitting on a lot of them. That's why hopefully at KCON I can give away a bunch of stickers, because I don't like looking at the stacks of them every day. People have been talking about merch on our Discord specifically lately. We do hear you guys. We as the crew, when we talk, we have like these type of meetings maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, that type of thing. Not that often. Honestly, we have more little chats, because we've been using a Facebook chat for like the last like 5 years that we've been in.
Have I known you for 5 years?
Okay.
Oh my god, it's
almost 6.
It's been about 5 years, yeah. So we've been talking to each other on Facebook chat for 5 years. We still talk in one of those.
Friends.
Okay, let me get to the point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's more often for us to talk about merch and stuff there shortly, but not in big detail. But just know we want to make merch for sure, right? At the same time, when you think about making merch, financial burden on us, because we don't want to print 100 t-shirts and then I have 100 t-shirts at my house. I don't want to do that. That's not a good look for either me or my wallet. because that being said though, I could drop this. I want to make a second sticker. Even though the first one, no one likes it. I don't know if no one likes it, but no one has it. But I'm gonna make a second sticker. I want to introduce it when we go to KCON this year. So I want to give out like 2 stickers to people. That's one of my personal things I've been talking about for like ever since KCON. Right? I've been saying this. Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
So it's happening. We were gonna make a second sticker.
If I can make a note that where I'm not actually joking, I'm being serious for a second. With the merch, I as a full-time job, I am a designer. I do software design. But as a designer, I do have a lot of ideas of what we want to do, where we want to take that, and whatnot.
Ooh.
At the same time, I do want to make something that would be comfortable to wear, something that you would put in your wardrobe where it doesn't sit underneath your bed for the rest of its lifetime. So like if we do make it, we are gonna put in I am gonna put in the right amount of effort so that I'm not Logan Paul or Jake Paul here, just printing stuff out with stolen artwork and whatnot. Like that's not what we want to do. You want to put in the right amount of time and effort so that we get you guys decent stuff where it's not garbo and you wear it for one time and it becomes a dirty rag. I don't want to give you guys dirty rags for how much do t-shirts go for?
So what he's saying is basically we don't want to just make a shirt that says SojuTalk right in the middle. We don't want to do that because honestly, it's like our name is SojuTalk, which maybe we hindered ourselves off the bat with having alcohol in our name, even though we are not the biggest drinkers. Let's just say that.
You got to explain that too at one point. But...
We'll explain that at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll nuance that it's a SojuTalk product, right? But we're not just gonna put our logo or like honestly, it would be more worth it for us to just put our faces. If we were gonna make a logo shirt, it would be logos with our faces. At least it would be funny, right? If we just put our straight logo, no one should buy that shirt.
Let's make a fashion line. Call it H&H.
What does that mean?
Harold and Hubert.
Okay, maybe. I don't know, but and also Warren. So in our drumming club that we were in Michigan where we met, Warren designed has a bunch of designs for that. He showed me in the past a couple that he reworked into like potential SojuTalk ideas or could rework. Let's just say the designs are cool. I really hope we could do it at some point this year, but no promises, of course. It takes time. We have to figure out where we're going to get shirts, the cost. We have to figure out how we're going to distribute them, how many we should buy of each size, that kind of stuff. So it's a process.
I also don't want to take the DPR merch route, which I was not happy about on the last episode. Their t-shirts were like $50 and the hoodies were $100.
Yeah. We want to keep it affordable.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of, so going back to the numbers, we have a lot of listeners outside of the North America is the best way to put it. I would say we do have about 60% viewership in North America, but we do have tons of listeners outside of the US. All of you know who you are. It's amazing to me that you guys leave and listen to us in other countries. But I want to keep it cheap because obviously shipping to you guys is going to be very expensive. That's the reality of the situation. And the lower we can keep the cost of the clothing, the cheaper we can get it to you. And that I don't want to make merch to make money. I want to make merch because it can go to supporting the show, and I want to give you guys a good product at a fair price.
Yeah. We're not doing YouTube podcasts full time here. We're just trying to have fun, honestly. Yeah.
Let me pivot then into money because it's completely related to that, right?
Do you have a list somewhere of stuff you want to talk about? It just comes to
I have a list in my head constantly of things I want to talk about in terms of the podcast that I can't bring up often.
Okay, what about money?
So as I mentioned before, when we were talking about merch and money and stuff and a potential Patreon, is that people in the Discord have been asking us. I don't know if they've been. It's not a demand, but they've been saying why don't you have a Patreon? Right? That's the question we've gotten a couple times.
I saw that.
The truth of the matter is, until we were pressed with that question, I didn't know that there was any inkling that we should make one. That is the honest truth.
Not yet.
If I'm to be 100% honest, we were planning to make it at episode 100, which is
farther down the line, yeah.
It's in August, so 8 months, 9 months away, right?
Right. Oh man.
We, as a crew, have talked about making a Patreon. It's gonna be happening. I'm not gonna say soon, but it's on the horizon now. We've pushed up the date.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It's not happening at episode 100 anymore. It'll be a little faster than that.
And
maybe
but that's contingent on us like researching Patreon, because we know nothing about it until like 2 days ago. I've been researching.
Literally.
I've been looking at other people's Patreon, and we want to give you guys like. So for those of you who don't know, a Patreon is essentially a platform where, because YouTube, well, we don't get ad money from YouTube because we don't have over 1,000 subs and are not partners with YouTube. In terms of our financials, everything that we do for the podcast right now, it's a hobby and it's coming out of our pockets, right? That's the honest truth about it. In terms, and what comes with the podcast is we had to buy equipment because I didn't have a mic when we started the podcast, right?
No.
Nope.
We had nothing. The giveaway, like same thing with whenever we do a giveaway, at least the ones we've done, like I'm paying for the albums, right? Out of the goodness of my heart, we're doing these giveaways, which I love doing, but like sometimes it's hard to like spend 50. It's sometimes hard to spend $50 or more on things that I'm just gonna give away, right?
Right.
That being said, Patreon's a platform where you could donate money monthly to us to be like, I like what you're doing. I'm consuming your content. Good job. Keep doing what you're doing. That's the overall premise. And we would never beg you to give money to us. We would never do that. If we did that, I'd rather stop the podcast. It's more just the opportunity that if you want to, you can.
Yes. If you somehow want to, if you somehow like us enough to the point where you're like, all right, I want to financially
and can afford to, for sure.
Right,
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Don't go using your parents' credit cards if you that's
Do not.
do not, please.
I will send you the money back if I find that out.
We will also write a personalized letter to your parents saying your son or daughter has been using your money for.
Yeah, it's like back in the day. It's like your son used his credit card to get a RuneScape account, a premium RuneScape account. That's like what this is. Do not do that.
Don't do
if
that.
you have the funds available, if you're fortunate to be in that situation, and it would be like, if you want to donate to the show to keep it going or improve the show, yeah, we would 100% appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
But we would never ask you to do that.
No, again, if we ever become those like money hungry YouTubers,
send us this link. Spam us with the link of this timestamp.
Yeah, send us this video where we're saying no. I don't want to be Lele Pop. I don't want to be like Rice Gum over here. Like,
yeah,
chill. Yeah.
And honestly, the three of us have I'm not gonna call it a blood pact, but it's a podcast lifeline pact where if one of us doesn't want to do the podcast or we've decided that we don't want to do it, we're not doing it.
If I say tomorrow I don't want to do the podcast anymore,
But you won't.
I wouldn't. But obviously.
If we don't have any ownership structure or anything, but like it's the three of us, right? At the moment.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to just say we should stop the podcast, like we probably should. That's how I honestly feel about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think at the moment we're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be a different scenario if someone wanted to be like, I'm too busy now, I can't do it anymore, but you guys should go ahead. That's a completely different story, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If we ever collectively came to the decision like it's not fun anymore, we would stop because this is just for fun. For sure.
But at the same time, this is definitely a lot more fun than when I began.
Yes. Oh my
Like,
goodness.
not simply 9 times more between the 2 Decembers, but like there's a small community of people who actually like again for some reason enjoy us talking for like an hour and 30 minutes. Talking with them is crazy.
I'm super grateful we haven't gone viral on anything. Because
you have no idea.
I know getting viral and getting numbers is like the point of making content for a lot of people, but I feel like the fact that we've grown our SojuTalk Nation slowly has really benefited us because it's improved the show so much.
If he went viral like overnight, I probably couldn't say the stuff I said about like One Us and like ATs and like remember like
you remember
Twitter would explode.
You remember the incident we had about a certain group? So we are lucky in the fact that we receive very little hate or criticism about our content, because at the end of the
We
day,
don't get any hate. Oh man, internet loves us. I'm being serious.
okay, well maybe you think that.
Okay. Oh.
We've had one or two little incidents where people who don't understand the context of what we're saying or the jokes we've made or where we're coming from misinterpret what we're saying and get very angry at us. That's been like one or two times in the last 18 months, right? Like that we've had to deal with, which I'm sure a lot of other content creators have to deal with this on a daily basis.
Yeah. I mean that being said,
If we went viral and people don't know who we are, our style, it's more of an opportunity for those type of situations to happen. And I'm grateful that it hasn't happened so far.
that being said, I'm not surprised when these things happen. I'm sure it'll keep happening as we.
It affects me a lot more, but I've grown a little bit of a thicker skin to it.
I think you're getting yeah. We're not born to be celebrities over here where we ignore every negative comment. No, we actually read them and then get influenced. That being said,
I remember the first time we got like what I would consider akpul or like a real negative comment.
That was episode 2. Was 1.5, wasn't it?
It was episode 1.5.
Yeah, I remember. You were scared.
I was like, are we sure we're gonna keep doing this?
Is the comment still there? I want to check.
No, it's not there. There was another incident where a fan on another platform like ripped us a new one. Like
pretty much
terribly. I don't think that one exists anymore, but we were like ripped a new one on a certain platform and it was rough. Not gonna lie, like I never thought we were like doing I never thought that we were making content that people would be so angry about to write us like really nasty comments, but it does happen once in a while and you get used to it.
So far, I haven't gotten any death threats. I haven't gotten any direct messages on Instagram telling me.
I mean, someone wanted to report us to an agency. Let's say that was a threat.
That was okay. We gotta talk about that off camera. I didn't know that was a thing.
No, you know what it was.
Okay, I might need a reminder then.
I'll just hint you. I know we don't do this on the podcast, but do you remember the day I came and saw you in New York and built furniture? We had a certain incident.
Oh, okay.
Those of you on the Discord know of this because I've talked about it there.
Yeah.
But there was an incident where I made a joke about a certain group and their fandom, their casual fandom on Twitter who doesn't watch us, got very angry at us. There was like a thread about how we were like terrible, and I addressed it. We're all cool with them now, but it was like experience like that. We learn what we can say, what we can't say.
I mean, like I said, I'm sure the longer we do this, the more and more those kinds of feedback we'll get.
Of course.
At the end of the day, I don't want to. I'm not doing this because I hate certain groups or because I want to like take out my anger or like
purposely. Yeah.
Right. I kind of went over this on Emily when I was guesting on Emily's podcast. But when we criticize certain groups, it's because we want them to go in what we think is a forward direction. We want them to improve. We want to point things out where we think, like they could have done better. And at the end of the day, yeah, we could be totally wrong. But at the same time, like this is the internet. We're sharing our opinions. On the other hand, we might make jokes, but that's for the sake of making jokes. If that comes off as problematic, let us know. And then we won't make that mistake again. We're people. We make mistakes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once in a while. So I think a lot of you know that there's a script, right? There's no way we're just doing this off the dome, right? We have a set.
We time all our coughs and like no, no, I'm just kidding.
But if you think about our podcast, there's like a structure to it, right?
Yeah.
And I prepare my comments about some of the groups beforehand. Some of them I do on the spot, but like once in a while, it's like I think of a joke or a comment that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell her to this comment. Half the time they laugh. Half the time I'm like, let's move on to the next comment. And I die a little on the inside. But that I don't know. It's like, so I write these scripts. The scripts take, I want to say, 10 hours a week to make.
Oh, man.
It takes a long time. A lot of article reading and sifting. But a good portion of those 10 hours is me just being a K-pop fan, right?
Mm.
But it's like
still, yeah.
It used to be a lot tougher, and Warren and Anita could tell you this. I used to get way more stressed about the podcast than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to lose sleep because of the podcast. I'd have nightmares about it, but No,
Which
it
is
is
really
not cheating.
ironic because you were the one who came up with the idea of podcast at the beginning.
Blame Rooster Teeth and Joe Rogan for the reason why we have a K-pop podcast. That's what I will say, because those were the two I was listening to the most at the time.
Did I? Here's the thing. I kind of talked about this on the other guesting thing as well. But shout out to Emily Hado, by the way. I don't listen to actually that many podcasts. I listen to hip hop player radio, which is in Korean and has like Korean rappers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to listen to this anime podcast, which they stopped doing around like I want to say 15ish. I don't remember. That's pretty much it. I don't listen to that much podcasts. So I have no idea if what we're doing right now is like
Neither do I.
standard.
I used to listen to a lot of podcasts when I had a desk job.
Yeah.
I listen to like 2 or 3 now. And some of the podcasts I listen to, they have like highlight reels, so I don't listen to the whole thing. I listen to the highlight reels. But I think that's good because I don't want to base our podcast on what other people are doing. I like doing what we're doing.
No.
And I
We're
think
original.
At the same time, I did go check out a lot of the big names. I don't want to name drop anybody, but I did check out a lot of the other people who are doing stuff in our similar sphere, and I feel like we are doing stuff that not a lot of other people are doing, the way we format stuff and talk about stuff and whatnot. And I kind of want to keep it that way, so that's pretty cool. That being said,
Variety.
All right, my concern right now is length because we're getting longer and longer. Like,
look, they want 8-hour podcasts.
people want 8-hour podcasts.
Sorry, I can't.
We used to shoot for 45. Now we're shooting for like an hour 30 is what we're shooting for these days.
Oh man.
I know you guys love content, but at the same time, it's like we're like a TV show that comes around and once a week. But we are trying to do more content, which is why you're listening to this right now, which is why I'm releasing stuff on YouTube more commonly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We'll do more stuff, right? Doug,
Anita,
you wanted to make a vlog.
I want to ask Anita a question though.
Yes.
Before we wrap this up.
We're wrapping this up already? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want this to be a full podcast.
Wait,
This
how
is
many minutes are we in right now?
37.
Oh my. Okay,
Ooh.
that flew by.
But Anita, you would call yourself an introvert, correct?
Yeah.
As an introvert, how has the podcast experience been? I'm like honestly
Well, I feel
interested
like
in this.
where we are now, it's definitely more comfortable. The first couple of months were I
horrendous.
feel like I was very self-conscious.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like I think another reason why I'm also glad that we've had a very consistent but very positive growth is that it helped us grow as well, like talking and being more comfortable, at least for me. So I'm really glad that it's been going that way. But yes, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's good that so Warren and Anita are for the most part in the dark about our statistics. Like
I used to do the statistics.
Yeah, but then you got lazy, so now I do them too.
I know. I got a full-time job. That's what it is.
I mean, it takes 20 minutes to do them every month. Let's be honest here.
Okay, sorry.
But they are more or less in the dark about how we're doing. I'm the one who's looking at them. I used to look at them on like every 20-minute basis. Now I look at them.
I mean,
like
to be
once
honest,
a
I
day.
feel like that makes me like looking at like statistics and stuff like that. That makes me anxious because I wonder like, oh, do people like this? Do people not like this? And, like, I don't know.
I'm the only one who's really paying attention to our numbers and stuff, and they're surprisingly positive overall. And I've gotten I get less stressed about them because you can't be fishing for numbers or else it's gonna just play in your mind the whole time.
I do have the YouTube Studio app on my phone. I do see comments as they come in.
Yep.
Usually by the time I read them, Doug has already either replied, liked, or done something with the comment already. I'm like, oh, can't do anything now. Thief. Same with the Discord server, by the way. Like, my man does all the talking, so like a lot of the times I'm like, oh, there's nothing for me to say anymore. But if you guys want to like ask me questions, please feel free to at me. I'll get to you guys when I'm not at a meeting or not busy doing whatever, because I hope my boss isn't listening, but I do listen. I do scroll through Discord a lot during work.
Bro, I'm on Discord 24/7. of us.
Anita, did you know that Doug changed the name of our bots?
Yeah.
What's the name?
They're not Meesix or just radio anymore. They're called Fuego Bot.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes, I did
Spicy
notice.
Boombox.
Spicy boombox. Yo,
How
dropping
is
the
a boombox spicy? Like,
dropping the spicy tracks, sir.
my God.
Boom.
All right. I mean,
Do you guys not like my buzzwords? I'll just stop using them.
No. You can keep using
They're
that.
catchy.
I will
They're
just be
catchy.
monotone. I will be like, and today for the song releases of this week, we have
No.
Rocket Punch with the Bim Bam Boom.
Beam bam boom.
I mean, they're coming to KCON, so get hype, Warren. Let's be straight up here. I mean, Golden Child, which is Willem's boy group, came to KCON New York in their second year.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago.
I'm not saying that correlation is causation, but maybe I am.
Okay, you guys need to stop. Like, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be so sad. You guys have no idea.
I mean, watch what's gonna happen. They're gonna come to KCON LA and not KCON New York. That's
Oh,
gonna be.
no.
I'm flying. I'm
Then we are. All right, Warren says it right here. If Rocket Punch comes to KCON LA and not New York, we are going to both KCON. That is.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, CEO. Sorry, manager. I will take the day off from designing and take the flight to LA to see random girls dance and on stage. I'm sorry.
You made it seem way worse than it actually is. But if I was your boss, I would have let you go at that point. But
they actually, some of them have actually checked out a couple of our episodes.
mhm.
Like okay, my CEO. So I work at a startup.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty chill with each other.
Mhm.
When they figured out that I do a podcast, my CEO like tuned in because he's a podcast listener and he's like done radio stuff before.
Mhm.
And it happened to, and he's not like he doesn't listen to K-pop. He knows like BTS and that's about it.
Which episode?
It was the worst episode to tune into
Which one?
because it was right after Kuwata passed away.
Oh God.
no.
Yeah. So like,
Was he surprised at our maturity about the situation? At least.
I think so. Yeah. He was like, oh man, like yeah, it was a really sad episode, but yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it was a really sad episode. That's not how that conversation went.
Yeah, okay. No one, humans do not have that type of conversation, Warren. It was a very sad episode. Yes, it was a very sad episode. Good day to you, sir. But
Shut up.
we want to keep this episode a little bit short. But to summarize, right? KCON, fill out that form for us, please. I beg you.
If you want to see us.
If you want to see us, if you don't, that's chill too. Discord.
Also, it'd be okay. One more thing. It'd be nice if you guys could put Rocket Punch on that thing too.
No, you could just save yourself
There's
and
a-
type 4 letters and type ITZY as the rookie
There's a
group.
thing for rookies. You can put 3 rookies down. You can put ITZY down. You can put Everglow down. And then there's another slot left. Save
But
one.
so that's Discord has been great. It's honestly the driving force behind a lot of the changes and improvements on the show. So if you haven't been on the Discord, please check it out. It might not be your thing. I get that, but it might be your thing. You don't know yet.
Try it out.
You can come check it out for a bit and then leave. Like you don't need to install the app. That's actually true. You can do it on web.
In terms of growth, we thick. In terms of merch, we're gonna plan to do some. In terms of money/Patreon, right now it's a hobby, but we will be making a Patreon sometime in the future. But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. It's the side piece episode, 69.5, the unplanned thing that just happened. I'm Doug. I don't want to do the straight intro. That's Warren. That's Anita.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Bye.
We'll see you all in 2 days because we are going to drop this on a Monday. We will see you in 2 days for episode 70. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye. Please fill out the form. I beg you. Bye.
Rocket Punch.